Today we're taking a look at the ScanLogic Audit from SECURAM Systems. When we denote ScanLogic as our sub-brand, what that really means is that it is has a scanner, a fingerprint scanner, which means I can put my finger on here and it'll authenticate with the lock and allow me to gain access if it's a registered finger. So every time you see ScanLogic, it means that it requires a fingerprint scan and therefore it's a biometric safe lock. So this particular product, ScanLogic Audit, as the name implies, has a 500 event audit trail. Every time someone enters their information on the, opens the lock either with a fingerprint or with a code, it captures that information and puts it in an audit log. Now with all of our SECURAM Safe Lock entry pads, you can pair them with any one of our 4 lock systems. So here I'm showing the one of our most popular. This is the swing bolt lock. You see that as the lock is opened, this bolt would swing back into the case and allow you to gain access. This is our deadbolt lock. It's a square bolt dead latching lock. This is our spring bolt lock. So you can see it is a non-dead latching lock that allows you to perhaps use this on an interior compartment of a safe where you don't have bolt work. And then finally, our strike bolt lock can be managed using the ScanLogic Audit as well. And it is a lock that allows a receiver to be received into this location and locked in place. So perhaps you might have a door that has a receiver on the back of it and it locks in place in this lock. The lock itself would be mounted on the jamb of the compartment. The benefit of that is that you don't have to have the lock cable running from the entry pad to the lock that crosses over the hinge, so it makes it a little easier to do your wiring. So any of our entry pads, including the ScanLogic Audit, can be paired with any of our lock systems. Very flexible lock management system. Now the ScanLogic Audit, as the name implies, is a biometric safe lock system. So I'm going to enroll my first fingerprint. This is a very simple process. Unlike other biometrics where it's quite cumbersome to enroll a fingerprint, all you do in this case is put your finger on the scanner here. This is an optical reader, and what it says immediately is welcome, and it tells you the date and time that's currently in the system. If the date and time is okay, then you just press OK, and actually that allows you to set the date and time. So now you can just scroll through that if the date's correct. If the dates aren't correct, you can use the up and down buttons in order to correct the date and time, but this date and time is fine. So once that's done, it'll say start enrolling your first fingerprint. Place finger. So I put my finger on the scanner, it enrolls and it checks, and now I'm enrolled as user number 1. Simple. In order to open the safe lock now, I simply put my finger on the scanner, it verifies me, and the lock opens. It's that simple. It's very quick, it's very effective. You'll notice that this has an LCD screen. The LCD screen is where you do all of your programming using the up and down arrows in this menu system, as well as where you can view your audit trail information directly on this. Now, the ScanLogic Audit allows you to manage a number of different locks as well using our module that allows you to plug in your entry pad and then 4 different locks to be able to manage multiple locks within the system. It also has an AC power output so that you can plug in AC power into this location in order to power the system using AC power. Its standard way to power the lock is with a 9-volt battery behind the keypad here, but you have the option for AC power if you choose to. Now, I'm going to show you how this lock works and how we program it with a close-up in part 2 of this video, where you'll see how we operate the system using the LCD screen. The other thing I'll show you is this is a little unique. This has, because there's not an awful lot of real estate on the keypad, we have a fairly large biometric reader here, but we have an LCD screen and we don't have very much space for the buttons. So we use something called a multi-numeric keypad. And in order to enter a code then, I would enter my code by pressing these numbers that correspond to the numbers of my code. And when I do that, the lock would open. Because it only has 4 button locations, in order to meet requirements for certification bodies, the length of the code is actually 10 digits. So you enter a 10-digit code here. This lock has 30 fingerprints and 30 codes. You can use it in fingerprint or code mode, or you can use it in fingerprint and code. However you want to. You can set it up in dual control, so it takes 2 fingerprints. You can enable and disable users, and you can set time delay. So it's a very full functioning commercial safe lock that allows you to have fingerprint access, so you know the people you've registered are the only people who are gaining access to your safe. That's the SafeLogic Audit.